Imagine sitting down at your computer, pressing the power button, and within seconds being greeted by a desktop that feels alive, responsive, and perfectly tuned to you. The windows glide instead of snapping, animations feel intentional instead of decorative, and every click responds instantly, as if the system already knows what you want to do next. This is the experience KDE Plasma 6.5 aims to deliver, and in many ways, it represents the most mature and refined version of the Plasma desktop ever created. In this video, we're diving deep into why KDE Plasma 6.5 is being widely considered the most polished, fast, and beautiful Linux desktop yet, not just as an incremental update, but as a statement about what modern desktop computing on Linux can truly be. KDE Plasma has always been about freedom and choice, but with Plasma 6, and especially in version 6.5, the project has reached a point where that freedom no longer comes at the cost of stability or usability. From the moment you log in, the first thing you notice is how cohesive everything feels. Fonts render cleanly, spacing is consistent, and the visual language of the desktop is unified across panels, menus, widgets, and system dialogues. Nothing feels bolted on or left behind. Plasma 6.5 builds on the Qt6 foundation and Wayland first philosophy introduced earlier in the Plasma 6 series, but here, those technologies finally fade into the background, letting the user experience take center stage. Performance is one of the biggest talking points, and Plasma 6.5 truly shines here. The desktop feels lighter than ever, even on modest hardware. Window management is smooth and predictable, with virtually no stutter during resizing, moving, or switching between applications. Animations are faster, more subtle, and more consistent, giving the desktop a sense of fluidity without ever feeling distracting. This is not animation for the sake of showing off graphical effects, but animation used as feedback, helping your brain understand what's happening on the screen. Whether you're opening the application launcher, switching virtual desktops, or minimizing a window, everything feels deliberate and fast. Under the hood, Plasma 6.5 benefits from extensive optimization work. Memory usage is more efficient, background services are smarter about when they wake up, and CPU spikes that used to appear during heavy multitasking are now far less common. On laptops, this translates directly into better battery life, which has historically been a weak point for Linux desktops compared to other operating systems. Plasma 6.5 doesn't just run faster, it runs smarter. The system adapts to what you're doing, prioritizing responsiveness for active tasks while quietly keeping everything else in check. Wayland, once considered experimental, now feels fully ready for daily use in Plasma 6.5. Multi-monitor setups work reliably. Fractional scaling behaves as expected, and input handling is precise and lag-free. High refresh rate displays finally get the attention they deserve, with smooth scrolling and fluid motion that make even simple tasks feel more enjoyable. For creators, developers, and power users who rely on complex setups, with multiple screens, different resolutions, and varying DPI levels, Plasma 6.5 offers a level of polish that was hard to imagine just a few years ago. Visually, Plasma 6.5 is stunning without being overbearing. The Breeze theme has evolved subtly, refining colors, shadows, and contrast to create a look that feels modern yet timeless. Dark mode is easier on the eyes, with improved contrast that maintains readability without washing out details. Light mode is clean and professional, making it suitable for work environments as well as personal use. What makes Plasma truly special is that this beauty is not locked in. Every aspect of the desktop can be customized, from window decorations and icon themes to panel layouts and system sounds, allowing users to shape the desktop into something that feels uniquely theirs. Customization in Plasma 6.5 is deeper and more accessible than ever. The settings application has been streamlined, making it easier to discover options without overwhelming new users. At the same time, advanced users can still dive deep, tweaking everything from compositor behavior to keyboard shortcuts and window rules. Want a minimal desktop with a single panel and no distractions? Plasma can do that. Prefer a macOS-style dock with global menus? That's possible too. Or maybe you want a workflow inspired by tiling window managers, but without sacrificing traditional desktop features. Plasma 6.5 can accommodate all of this, often without requiring third-party tools or hacks. The application ecosystem around Plasma also feels more refined in this release. Core KDE applications like Dolphin, Console, System Settings, and Discover feel faster and more consistent. Dolphin, the file manager, is particularly impressive, offering powerful features like split views, advanced search, and seamless integration with network locations, all wrapped in a responsive and visually pleasing interface. Console remains one of the best terminal emulators available, balancing simplicity with powerful customization options that developers and sysadmins love. Discover, the software center, has improved reliability and clarity, making it easier to manage applications, updates, and system components. Whether you're installing native packages, Flatpaks, or system updates, the process feels smoother and more transparent. This matters because a desktop experience is not just about how things look or how fast Windows move, but about how confidently users can maintain and update their system without fear of breaking it. Another area where Plasma 6.5 excels is accessibility. KDE has long been committed to making the desktop usable for everyone, and this release continues that tradition. Improved keyboard navigation, better screen reader support, and more consistent focus handling make Plasma more welcoming to users with different needs. High-contrast themes and scalable interface elements ensure that the desktop remains usable across a wide range of displays and visual preferences. These improvements are not flashy, but they are crucial, and they reflect the maturity of the Plasma project. For developers, Plasma 6.5 is an exciting platform. The move to Qt6 opens the door to better performance, modern APIs, and long-term maintainability. Wayland integration encourages more secure and efficient graphics handling, while KDE frameworks provide a rich set of tools for building powerful applications that integrate seamlessly with the desktop. This means that as Plasma continues to evolve, the applications built for it will evolve too, benefiting from a stable and modern foundation. What truly sets KDE Plasma 6.5 apart, though, is how balanced it feels. In the past, Plasma was sometimes criticized for being either too complex or too experimental. In this release, it strikes a near-perfect balance between power and simplicity. New users can install a Plasma-based distribution and feel productive almost immediately, while experienced users can spend hours fine-tuning their setup to match their exact workflow. The desktop doesn't force a particular way of working on you. Instead, it adapts to how you want to work. Stability is another major highlight. Plasma 6.5 feels solid, with fewer random glitches, crashes, or graphical issues than many previous releases. The development team has clearly focused on polishing the rough edges, fixing long-standing bugs, and ensuring that everyday tasks just work. This reliability is essential if Plasma is to be taken seriously, not just by enthusiasts, but by professionals and organizations considering Linux as a primary desktop platform. From a philosophical perspective, KDE Plasma 6.5 represents the strength of open-source development done right. It is the result of thousands of contributors working together, guided by a clear vision, but open to experimentation and feedback. There is no single company dictating the direction of the desktop. Instead, it evolves through community collaboration, user input, and shared values. This openness is reflected in the desktop itself, which empowers users rather than locking them into rigid workflows or design choices. As you use Plasma 6.5 day after day, it starts to fade into the background in the best possible way. It doesn't constantly demand your attention or remind you of its presence. Instead, it becomes a reliable foundation that supports whatever you're doing, whether that's coding, writing, designing, gaming, or just browsing the web. When a desktop reaches this level of transparency, where it feels like an extension of your thoughts rather than a barrier, you know something has gone very right. In the broader landscape of Linux desktops, Plasma 6.5 sets a new benchmark. It challenges the idea that Linux desktops must choose between beauty and performance, between customization and stability, or between innovation and reliability. Plasma proves that you can have all of these at once, if enough care and attention are put into the details. It also shows that open-source projects can compete with, and in many ways surpass, proprietary alternatives when it comes to user experience. Looking ahead, Plasma 6.5 feels less like an endpoint and more like a strong foundation for the future. With the major transitions to Qt6 and Wayland largely complete, future releases can focus even more on refinement, usability, and new features that build on this solid base. If this is what Plasma looks like now, it's exciting to imagine where it will go next. So, is KDE Plasma 6.5 the most polished, fast, and beautiful Linux desktop yet? For many users, the answer will be a confident yes. It combines speed, stability, and visual elegance in a way that feels cohesive and intentional. It respects the user's freedom while providing a refined out-of-the-box experience. And perhaps most importantly, it demonstrates that the Linux desktop has reached a level of maturity where it no longer needs excuses or compromises. KDE Plasma 6.5 doesn't just keep up with modern desktop expectations. It helps define them.